Let's take a look at very specific to coaching now. So this data comes from roughly 250,000 360s that have been done around coaching. It's coaching skill development. And so as a result, we see some interesting, powerful combinations showing up. So here we have energizes people to achieve results with coaches and mentors others. So if the first one is a strength, so it's at the 75th percentile, but the other one is not, the chance of being in the top 10% of leaders is in the single digits. What do you think it is if we've got somebody who's good at coaching and mentoring but doesn't get results, doesn't get people focused, doesn't have a clear set of priorities? Think it's higher, lower? Higher, lower? It's actually a little lower. It's way down now to 4%. So if we do the math again, if both of those are strengths, then we'd be around 11% probability of being in the top 10% of coaches and of leaders. But it turns out to be a lot higher than that. How much higher? 80, 18, 80, got a real range there. It is actually 85% of the time when you've got somebody who does both of those together as a strength, they're in the top 10% of leaders. So it's starting to get people's head around, wow, that's a powerful combination. And what impact does that then have? Percent of employees that think about quitting now correlated to coaching effectiveness. We see quite again, a fairly sharp difference. Here's where we see, I think, an even sharper difference than before. So how I rate my leader as a coach in terms of how engaged I am, very poor at this end, but what I think is particularly stark are those last two bars. Extraordinary coaches have a major impact on employee commitment and engagement. But even if you just look across that, it's just a sharper difference than what we saw earlier. So there's dramatically more satisfaction and commitment. Here's one of those 5 engagement questions I talked about earlier. Willingness to go the extra mile, based again on correlated to coaching effectiveness. And what we see is, once again, pretty big differences when you get to the last couple of bars. So you see good to great is significantly different in how people, it's discretionary effort, or what's sometimes called volunteerism, people that will voluntarily go above and beyond and do more. When they've got a really strong coach, that dramatically improves. The overall, this one you wouldn't be surprised to see the relationship here. Overall, I feel my supervisor is doing a good job based on the amount of coaching that I receive and feedback on my performance, and the just general level of satisfaction. I feel valued as an employee in this company. Again, we see this kind of correlation.